Hey everyone, here we are. It's that time once again. Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, continuing our series on Top Secret First Edition Combat. Now, those of you who know, who have been around for a little while, may have been in the last series on Gamma World. I mentioned in that series that anytime that we start getting into combat, that means that we're getting to the end of the series. However, when it comes to Top Secret First Edition, well, combat is just a little involved, y'all. So we're going to spend several weeks just on combat. We also have one last video that is going to be getting into some sundry items and things like that until we end this series. So we won't be ending this one. I don't know. I think I got this at the end of January, February, somewhere in there. We going to keep it going, y'all. I want to say what's up to my leets. And hey, if this is your first time stopping through the channel, what's up and welcome. This is RPG Elite. You have stopped by the place where we put the RP back in the RPG, and how we do that is by giving you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk. That uncomfortable talk that makes you squirm. The talk that make me, the Negro, you love to hate. Oh yeah, that's the kind of talk that we have here, and this talk is meant to make your RPG experience more immersive and enjoyable. We gotta cover those topics, y'all. As uncomfortable as they are, we gotta do it. And it's also so that you can understand the depth of this great hobby. Let's get straight into the video today. And I've got two things for you on the other side. Of course, I got the question of the vid, but also I have an alternative way that you could do combat in Top Secret First Edition. It's going to be an RPG tip for you if you decide that this is a game that you want to get into. So I got that one on the other end. So let's do this, y'all. 1, 2, 3, roll them.
There are 4 styles of hand-to-hand combat in Top Secret 1E, and they work differently. So for the next several weeks, we'll look at how they all operate. Surprise in hand-to-hand combat is calculated differently than in projectile combat, which was dealt with in the Top Secret basic combat video I did last week. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. The main difference is the bonus that gets added to the surprise trait. A character who has the advantage of surprise has a +10 added to their surprise for the round. If they have completely surprised their opponent, it's a +25. Those who want to engage in hand-to-hand combat have to be no further away than 10 feet of one another. And this is just normal hand-to-hand combat. We're getting ready to cover a special kind of hand-to-hand combat here in a second. If no surprise happens, compare each side's surprise rating for initiative. And the one with the higher rating will be the attacker and will have the advantage, and the other side will be the defender. Possession combat is when 2 people struggle over an item. This is most commonly a weapon, but it could be something like a jar or a canister or a cell phone or anything else. Anyone who wants to engage in possession combat must be within 5 feet of one another. And it only takes one side to want to engage in possession combat in order for it to take place. This is much easier to do on a battle mat with representations like paper minis or even real miniatures. Or better yet, in a virtual tabletop where you can actually measure things right on the screen with no problem. Now, once possession combat has been declared, compare the wrestling values of the combatants. If there is no difference, they're equal, then randomly choose which one of the combatants will be player A and which one will be player B. If there is a difference between the values, find it on the possession combat table, then roll percentile dice, finding the result between the 2 columns based on who is player A, the lowest, and player B, the highest. This will determine who has possession. So here's our scenario. The bad agent has his gun pointed at Sarah, and Sarah ain't having that, and so she wants to wring that thing away from him. Will she be able to do it? So first thing we're going to do is just pull up their respective sheets here. There we go. Now we have to compare their wrestling traits. This guy has a wrestling trait of 115. She has a wrestling trait of 155, which means that she has 40 more in her wrestling. She's really good at it. You know, she's slippery. She knows how to hit that right nerve to get the results that she wants. So now we're going to look at the possession combat table. And since the difference in value is 40, we're going to go here. And now we need to roll percentile dice. And she is going to be fighter B, and the other guy is going to be fighter A. So now we're going to see who actually has possession after this is all said and done. 93, and that's overwhelmingly for Sarah. So that's how simple possession combat is. And you could try, once again, he could try to wrestle it away from her in the next phase, and it can go back and forth like that for a minute. After determining who has the advantage, the attacker consults the allowable combat table. The allowable combat table gives combatants a choice of 4 combat styles to choose from based on their area of knowledge in physical education or military science. Each style has a minimum level needed in order to be proficient in that style. When they've decided what style of combat they will use, they consult the appropriate combat table and write down the specific maneuver they will perform. Now here's something that is important. The attacker must designate if they are using their right or left to attack. So depending on the combat style, the defender may have to do so as well. And this will make a difference when consulting the combat table. Also, if both combatants chose identical sides, let's say they both chose a right offensive and the other chose a right defensive maneuver, it is reflected on the table as same side. If the attacker hits right, but the defender blocks left, then it's considered opposite side. After the attacker finishes choosing their style and maneuver, they announce the table out loud they have chosen. Armed with this information, the defender will choose 2 defensive maneuvers from that table and write those down. Once both sides have chosen their maneuvers, they reveal them to one another at the same time. 2 results are then obtained from the chosen combat table, 1 for each of the defender's defensive maneuvers. The results are cross-referenced on the combat table, and both results are read aloud by the administrator. The defender then chooses from the 2 which one they will accept. All effects are applied. If it is a hit, then injury is applied with the appropriate modifiers. So for the second part here, let's do some non-trained combat. Let's just say we're just getting in a knockdown, drag out street fight. This is what's going on. So if we go back to the tables here, some hand-to-hand combat on some non-trained strikes, we're still going to have Sarah. She's still going to have the advantage because of her surprise being so high over the bad agent's surprise. So she's still going to have advantage. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to roll a 6-sided die on this one for the defensive maneuvers. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, let's say. In the first round, she's going to do a right kick to the abdomen. And he's going to roll for his 2 defensive maneuvers here. Number 2. Actually, this is 5. I counted this one and I shouldn't have. This is just 5. So we're going to do number 2 right here. This is opposite side protect. Okay, let's do one more. And 3, which is a feint. Okay, so let's cross-reference here. Right kick to the abdomen and opposite side protect. And a feint, well, the one that's better for him is definitely going to be B, which means that it misses, and D, which means that he now will turn this around and get the upper hand. So yes, he's going to choose the B, D, and now he's going to be the one choosing. Let me see. There's no punches in here. It's just slaps. That's really weird. So he's going to go ahead and slap the head. Slap the head. I'm gonna assume the slap is equivalent to kind of a punch, I guess. I don't know. So slap to the head. And so we're going to do 2 for Sarah, and we're going to do hers randomly as well. Okay, we just say that's a reroll. Or let's choose. So she's going to do same side protect. Then let's do another one that we'll roll randomly. 5. Which is retreat. Really? Okay. Well, she ain't retreating, so it's going to be same side protect. So let's go ahead. He's got a slap to the head. And this is going to do damage. This is going to do damage unless she decides to retreat, which is also going to do damage. So she might as well just take the damage. A means that it's going to do damage. C means that he is going to keep the advantage. V means that it's going to do damage on the V table. Let me pull that over for you guys. All right, so as you can see here, here's V. This is very light damage. So we're going to need to roll a percentile to see exactly how many points of damage is going to get taken here. And it's not going to be much. It's going to be a maximum of 2 points, right? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull this off and let's see what I can roll. That's an 18, which means that's a 0. No damage. 0, 1, 2, 33 means 0 damage. So he slapped her, but it was so light and didn't do any damage. But he does keep the advantage. We're getting ready to go back to our table so he can go ahead and choose what he wants. And he's going to try a... Let's try a kick to the leg. No. Let's try a kick to the head. Kick to the head. Yeah, he's going to try a kick to the head. He ain't messing around. And it's going to be a right kick to the head. And she's just going to choose an opposite side protect and a same side protect. That seems better than just rolling randomly here. So if she chooses same side protect, it will be the same thing. He would do some damage and he would do normal damage and he would keep the advantage. However, if we do opposite side protect, we're going to switch it around again and she's going to get the advantage. So that's what we're going to do. A character whose life level reaches 0 is unconscious or 1d100 minutes of game time. After that time has elapsed, if no one has tried to kill them, because you can just straight kill somebody if they're unconscious, then they wake up with 1 point of life level and heal 1 point per hour for damage taken in hand-to-hand combat. This is an important distinction because projectile combat damage does not heal the same way.
So once you look at combat, it's really not that hard at all. No dice rolling. That I like about it, but there's enough detail. Actually, it's too much detail. It's like table heavy, y'all. Table heavy. Now, there is an alternative way you could do this that might speed things up just a little bit, but it takes a little bit of work before on the front end. So here's my suggestion. So what you want to do is take a table and you want to take all of the offensive and defensive maneuvers and you want to write them out on index cards like this right here. The pack of these will cost you, I think I bought these for 97 cents. It might have been 89 cents. I don't even remember. About a pack of 100 of them. A little dab will do you on this one, right? because you can get a pack of 100 and it will cover all of the maneuvers that you have on all of the tables in Top Secret. So take it, write down all the maneuvers, left and right, and then put them in separate piles. And the way you can do that as well is put, offensive, defensive, put a paper clip on them. So once somebody chooses a table, then you can go ahead and slide over the defensive cards and then slide over the offensive cards. Everybody chooses one, and then you just play the card when it's time to reveal. That's simple. That's simple. Now, again, this takes some work on the front end, writing all that out. And this is where everybody can help out, really. Just spend a little bit of time, maybe get everybody together to help out. One takes the boxing and sword play table, the other one takes the wrestling table, the other one takes the martial arts table, so on and so forth. And you write all those things out, so when you guys get together for the mission and combat breaks out, it'll go just a wee bit faster than having to sit there and write down everything and then trying to reveal that on pieces of paper. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Now, the good thing about this method is that depending on what virtual tabletop that you're using, it will work in a virtual tabletop. Now, I use Foundry, and Foundry just added the ability to play cards. It's very basic, but that's really all you need. You're able to actually name your cards and all the rest of that, and you will be good to go. So it's possible to do, and all you have to do is do your hand. It's probably even a little bit cleaner in a virtual tabletop environment, but you can do it for both. So, hey, there it is. There's my tip for you if you want to make things a little bit easier and a little bit more streamlined when it comes to combat in Top Secret First Edition. And that leads me to the question of the vid, which is this. When it comes to combat in a tabletop RPG, what kind of combat do you like? Do you like it crunchy like this? Like you like all the details and you like all this crunchiness? You want to find a balance in between that. You like just enough detail with, just enough streamlines so it kind of keeps things moving. Or, hey, do you like to keep combat light? We just want to keep this light, just keep the game moving. What kind of combat do you like? I want to hear from you, and go ahead and put that down in the comments below. A brother just wants to know. Hey, if you like this video today, then hey, go ahead. Give a brother just a little bit of YouTube algorithm love. Hit that like button, y'all. And also, hey, if you kind of dig what's going on here, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday. That's going to be it for me, folks. A brother is about to
exit stage left.
Happy gaming, y'all. If you got a game this weekend, I hope it is a fantastic RPG Elite session. And if you missed any of the other videos, then hey, check these out here on the playlist. Skip around, do your thing, find out a little bit more about Top Secret First Edition. Now, until next time, folks, a brother is going to say peace and hagritis.